Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A very warm welcome to yet another session of Weekend with Wisdom. Let me begin with a prayer. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Once again, Shubhodaya and warm welcome to one and all. Today we are very glad to welcome back Professor CSR Prabhu ji. Thank you, sir, again for making time for yet another session. So we are under Weekend with Wisdom. We have been organizing a series of talks by Professor Prabhuji on less known Upanishads, but nevertheless very important Upanishads, which are all part of the 108 Muktika Canon. And today, Professor Prabhuji will be will be introducing us to another such Upanishad called Paramahamsa Upanishad. It is listed as one of the Sannyasa Upanishads in the Muktika Canon, and it is basically a discourse between Bhagavan Brahma and Rishi Narada. And as the title says, it is a description. The Upanishad is a conversation about the Paramahamsa or a Paramahamsa Yogi. So I will request Prabhuji to continue his wonderful lecture series on these Upanishads. But before that, just a brief description of Prabhuji for those benefit of those who are joining us today for the first time. Professor Prabhu is an eminent scientist who held prestigious positions in government and professional bodies. He was Director General of National Informatics Center, Government of India at New Delhi, and headed Computer Society of India's Hyderabad chapter, and is presently the chairman of ACM Hyderabad Deccan chapter. He has authored 16 books, of which 12 are on cutting-edge subjects such as fog computing and big data analytics. He founded and currently heads Vishwa Yoga Vidyapit and has taught yoga globally. He has conducted research both in computer science and Samskrita texts and authored research level books in all the above areas. He has developed Dharma Yoga as a common framework for all religions and sciences. Again, warm welcome to you, sir. Please go ahead and start the session. Viewers, if we will take...
Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradayakatrbhyo Vamsarishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvo Baplavarahita Prajnarahana Pratyagadho Sohamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Well, friends, I am privileged to be present in front of you with this new discovery of the Upanishads called Paramahansa Upanishad. This is Shukla Yajurvediya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Atha yoginam paramahamsanam ko margaha tesham ka sthitiriति Narado Bhagavantam Upasametyo vacha tah Bhagavan aha yoyam paramaham margo loke durlabhataro. So Narada asked a question to Brahma. What is the nature of a Paramahamsa, a yogi? How they go about and how they behave? It is almost like the question which Arjuna asked Lord Krishna in second chapter, Sthitaprajna.He ka bhasha samadhistasya kesava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. So how does a Sthitaprajna behave? So similarly here, how does a Paramahamsa, a yogi who is a Paramahamsa behave? Now before we start the understanding of the reply on the nature of the behavior of Paramahamsas, we should first understand what the word Paramahamsa means. First, there are two words, it's a samasa of Paramahamsa. A Hamsa which is Parama or a Paramahamsa. So Hamsa is a swan. What is Hamsa known, very famous for? It is famous for separating milk and water if you give it milk with water. Milk and water are mixed. Normally all milk is having water. Pure milk is hardly there. So when milk and water are mixed and given to Hamsa, Hamsa will sip or squeeze out or drink only milk and leave the water. That is what the speciality of Hamsa is about. So there is a doha, Jada Chaitanya Guna Doshmaya, Kartahin Kartar, Sant Hamsamani, Pariharo, Vari Vikar. One Sant or a yogi or a saint, exactly similar to Hamsa, will take only good things, the divine component of the universe, whereas universe is composed of both good and bad. Jada Chetana, Guna Dosha. So universe is comprised of Jada and Chetana and Guna and Dosha, two opposites. But a Sant, a real saint, a Paramahamsa, will sip or will squeeze out, will drink only the good. He will take the Chetana and leave the Jada. He will take Gunas and leave the Doshas. So that is how a Paramahamsa is a saint. A yogi is also a saint who will squeeze out only the milk and leave out the water, which is not worth drinking. So in this world, in our life, we are faced with good and bad both. All kinds of people with all kinds of situations, all kinds of circumstances. A smart man, like a Santa or a yogi or a Paramahamsa, will pay his attention and absorb only the good things. Like I'm sure you know various persons whom you know, they have both good and bad qualities. So it is a management principle of positive stroke in transactional analysis. Positive stroke is having 3 times the power of negative stroke. If you tell somebody positively, it will work more effectively, 3 times more effectively than if you tell the same thing negatively. So the negative and positive qualities do exist in everyone, in everything, every item, every object. Whereas a smart man, a sant, a yogi, or a Hamsa will take advantage of only the good qualities and ignore the bad qualities. So in fact, there is a similar sutra in Patanjali Yoga Sutras also. How a yogi should behave when he faces good and bad, two types of things. So when he faces good things, punya, apunya, two qualities, he takes responds positively to punya and ignores apunya. Punya punya vishyanam bhavanatas chitta prasadanam. So, Maitri Karuna Muditopakshanam Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishyanam Bhavanatas Chitta Prasadanam. So, peace of mind will be achieved when you react positively to positive things and ignore the negative things instead of reacting negatively to negative things. Normally, ordinary people will react negatively to negative things, to negative people, and that will only aggravate the situation. Whereas a positive person, like a santa, a smart man, or a Paramahamsa, will take only positive things and react positively to positive things, and he will be silent on negative things. This is just a worldly introduction to the concept of Hamsa and Paramahamsa, who is supposed to be a level much above the ordinary sannyasi or ordinary yogi. Of course, in the Bhagavad Gita, they have equated yoga and sannyasa. They are supposed to be two faces of the same coin. Because without giving up or sannyasa of all thoughts, no yoga can be practiced. Sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga arudhastadochyate. So, Sankhya yoga pradhak bala pravadantina pandita. Ekamapyasthir samyak ubhayor vindate param. Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate. Ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha yap pashyati sa pashyati. So, sannyasa and yoga are equated in the Bhagavad Gita because of karma yoga, nishkama karma is as good as sannyasa, if not better. Nyayasas nicha sannyasi yona dveshtina kankshati nirdvando hi mahabhavo subham dhat pramuchyate. He is a nicha sannyasi who has no desires, who does not want anything and nor he wants to hate anything. So he will be liberated from the karma bandha. That is karma yoga. And a Sthitaprajna will be performing all his actions in that manner. That is the message of Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna asked Arjuna to become a Sthitaprajna and fight the war in the interest of these Loka Sangraha for the benefit of society and upholding of Dharma. So that message is valid to all of us today. And this Paramahansa Upanishad is going to explain how such a Sthitaprajna, Paramahamsa, what is the word Paramahamsa? I have already explained to you. So it is in the hierarchy of the sannyasa order. Paramahamsa is a little advanced stage. It is above the ordinary yati or sannyasi, and there are many levels in it. We have Mahamandaleshwara, we have so many other levels. But Paramahamsa, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, is the most famous personality who are familiar. We are all very familiar. And Vivekananda is nothing but the external mouthpiece of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who is our Guru. So he is a real Paramahamsa. He practiced Vedanta. He equated both mud and gold. And he used to throw mud and gold both into Ganga River, sitting in front of it in his house. So, Samalosthashma Kanchana. Such descriptions are given in the Bhagavad Gita. So, Sthitaprajna and a Gunatita and a Yogi and a Mahabhakta and a Jnani all seem to be one and the same, converging into a single entity. Such a personality, a Paramahamsa, how does he behave? So, Tam Bhagavan aha yoyam Paramahamsa margo loke durlabhataro. This Paramahamsa path is a very rare and very, very impossible, if exceptional thing in this world. Natu bahya, natu bahulyo yadhyeko bhavati saiva nitya bhutastha. You cannot find too many Paramahamsas floating around. It is not possible. There will be one in a million, and such a person is nitya bhutastha. He is always pure, like Ganga river is always pure. People are rushing to Kumbh Mela to take a dip in the Ganga river there. It is always pure, even if crores and crores and crores, 40 crore people or whatever they take bath, the Ganga river remains pure. Nitya Putastha. So a Paramahamsa is also like Ganga river. He is permanently pure. Sa eva Veda Purushaha. He is the Veda Purusha. Iti Vidisho Manyante. This is what is believed by the scholarly persons. Such a Paramahamsa, of course, I am making it very clear, neither I nor you may be Paramahamsas. But by listening to such things, some benefit we will get, some kind of satsanga, some kind of seeping or diffusion of knowledge may happen into us. That's why we are studying this. Mahapurusho, he is a Mahapurusha. Yachittam tat sada mayyeva tishtade. He is one who has his mind always in the Lord. So Narayana is answering this in the Gita, and here also similar dialogue same. That is, Mayeva manadhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayeva ataudhvam na samshaya. So if you absorb in your mind in me, you absorb your intellect in me, you will live in me. That means you will live in God, you will live in Narayana, Vishnu, Vasudeva, which is the highest level of existence. So, yeah, Paramahamsa, who is the most greatest example of such a personality in the ancient times? It was none other than Shuka Maharshi, who was Avadhuta. We have studied last time Sukarahasya Upanishad. Shuka Maharshi is Paramahamsa and beyond. Avadhuta is even higher than even Paramahamsa. So such a person who is Brahmi Bhuta, he is absorbed in Brahman. He is equanimous. He has no distinction of himself and the nature around him. He is one with nature. That is a liberated state. Yachittam tassada mayyeva tishthate tasmad aham cha tasminneva avasthiyate. So a person who has his mind fixed in the Lord always, mayeva manadhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayeva. You live in me, and now he is saying here, I live in him. If he lives in me, I live in him. L-I-V-E, live. That means residing. Vasudeva, the word Vasudeva comes from Vasanat Vasudeva. Vasidam Jagatatrayam, the whole universe is established in Vasudeva. Vasudeva is residing in everything. So a person who is absorbed in Vasudeva automatically is merged into Vasudeva. Vasudeva resides in him too, as he resides in Vasudeva. Yachittam tat sada mayyeva tishthate tasmad ahancha tasminneva avasthiyate. So swaputra mitra kalatra bandhadinam shiham yajnopavitam swadhyayam cha sarvakarmani sannyasya. A sannyasi who has given up his attachment to everything, all his properties, all his family members, all his possessions, all his attachments, and even to Agnihotra and Shikha. That means he has abandoned karma, niragnihi. So such a sannyasi who is formally a sannyasi, of course, all of us are not sannyasis, but you can be mentally sannyasi. Sarva karmani manasa sannasyaste sukham vashi. There is a very interesting description in the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, saying that Sarva karmani manasa sannasyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvan nakarayan. A person who is smart, who wants to have happiness in life, let him renounce all attachments mentally, sarva attachments to all actions. Sarva karmani manasa sannasyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvan. Because in this city of 9 gates, which is our human body, which has 9 gates, eyes, ears, nose, and so on. In this city of 9 gates, Tavadvare Pure Dehi, the Atman, Naiva Kurvan, Nakarayan, it doesn't do anything, nor it gets done anything. Nakartrutvam, Nakarmani Lokasya Sujati Prabhu, na karma phala samyogancha svabhavastu pravartate. It is not that compulsorily, essentially, by nature, there is attachment to karma phala. It is only your delusion, Maya, which is making you attached. So you give up your delusion, therefore you give up your attachment. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvan nakarayan nakatrutvan nakarmani lokasya sriyati prabhu na karma phala samyogancha svabhavastu pravartate nadate kasyachit papam na chaiva sukrutam vidhu ajnanena avrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha jnanena tad ajnanam yesham nashitum atmana tesham adityavajnanam prakashayati tatparam tadbuddhayastadaatmana tannistha tatparayana gachanti apunaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmasha. This is what exactly is being explained here. Such persons, such personalities, Swaputra Mitra Kalatra Bandhadin, Shikham Yajnopavitam Swadhyayam Cha Sarvakarmani Sanyasya, Ayam Brahmanandam Hitva. He will be in the state of Brahmanandam Paramasukadam, Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam, Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham, Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam, Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. He'll be in that state. Kaupinam Dandamachadranam Cha Swasariropabhogardhaya Lokasyopakaradhaya Cha Parigrahe Tat Tacha Nam Mukhyo Asti Koyam Mukhya Iti Chayadvayam Mukhya Na Dandam Na Shikha Na Yajnopavitam Na Chadanam Charati Paramahamso Na Shitam Na Chostam Na Sukham Na Dukkham Namana Iti Sadurmi Varjito Nindagarva Matsaradam Bhadarpecha Dvesha Sukha Dukkha Kama Krodha Lobha Moha Harsha Maya Hankaradinscha Asuya Hankaradinscha Hitva Swavapuhu Kunapamiva Drishyate. A Paramahamsa will look at his body like filth. He will not care a damn what happens to him, how he is being treated, how he is being insulted or praised or adored or loved about with affection or ignored. So he will not care a damn thing about anything. So in fact, there is a statement that for a Vairagya, a person established in Vairagya, the whole universe, all positions, all achievements, all wealth, all positions, all power is equivalent to the excretion of a crow. Kakavishta is equivalent to not worth that single even follicle of hair. So that is a kind of Vairagya which a Paramahansa has. And let me elaborate once again what has been told. So he will be living for Lokopakaradhaya cha Loka Sangraha. Same thing the Bhagavad Gita told. Oh, Arjuna, I have no interest in anything which I am doing, but I am doing everything for the benefit of the Loka, for the benefit of the society. Acha, Namukhyos, nothing else is important, only Loka Sangraha is important. He has sacrificed his whole life. In fact, a sannyasi himself, the sannyasa ritual contains a step of burning his individuality, jivatva, and surrendering to the Lord and to the universe and to the nature for the benefit of the world, the universe. The sannyasi, Paramahamsa, he lives and acts only and strictly only for the benefit of the society and nature, all beings, not only human beings. Nadandam nasikhan nayajnopavitam nacha achadanam charati. All these veshabhushas are only formal external appearances. Paramahamso na shitam na joshnam na sukham na dukkham. He has no effect on the six urmis. What are they? Urmis means pains. Sukha dukkhas, raga dveshas, sitoshnas. Na shitam, na cho, ushnam, na sukham, na dukkham, na mana, amanancha iti. Praise and insult, षडूर्मि वर्जितः निंदा गर्व मत्सर दंभदम तर्पेच्छा द्वेष सुख दुःख काम क्रोध लोभ मोह हर्ष माया अहंकारादींश्च हित्वा. He has given up any influence. He will not be affected by ninda, garva, matsara, jealousy. Garva, pride. Ninda is condemnation. Dambha, bombasting. Darpa, pride. Ichha, dvesha, desire and hatred. Sukha, dukkha, pleasure and pain. Kamakrodha, anger and lust. Lobha, moha, greed and delusion. Harsha, asuya, being excited or being jealous. Ahankaradimsya, and being arrogant. All these things he has given up. Hitva swavapohu konapameva drishyate. He ignores, he neglects, or he looks at his body equivalent to filth. Yadastadvapuhu apadhasta samshayaha. Mithya jnananam yo hetustena nitya nivritta sannitya nityabodhastva swayameva avasthiti shantam achalam. So he has rejected the Maya Prapancham, the Moha, Maya Moha. We are all, as you know, friends, we are all submerged, delve deep into the Maya Moha Samudra. Maya Moha Samudra. We are living inside the ocean of Maya and Moha. So he transcends that. He rejects Mithya Jnana, doubts, he has no doubts. Apadhasta samshay midhya jnanam. He has demolished, destroyed all doubts and all delusory knowledge. Yo hetu stena nitya nivritta sannit sat. And by logical arguments, viveka, of course, he is already having vairagya, and using viveka, he will reject all the mithya jnana and he will reach the truth. And that truth is well established. Nitya bodhaha. He is always permanently, constantly in a self-realization state. God realization. Nitya bodhaha. Tat swayameva avasthitim shantam. He is well established, deeply established in the peaceful, achalam, unmovable, advayam, non-dual, ananda, blissful, chidghana, full of pure consciousness. Evasmi, Vijnana Ghana, Chit Ghana, Evasmi, I am that Brahman. What is that Brahman? Shantam, Achalam, Advayam, Anandam, Chit Ghanam, Evasmi, Tadeva, Mama Paramandhama. And that the Lord Narayana has told, that is my Paramadhama. Tadeva Shikha, Tadeva Upavitam Cha. That jnana, that realization is Shikha, that is Upavita. Paramatma Atmanor Ekatva Jnanene Tayor Bheda Eva Vibhagna Sasa. So the knowledge of oneness of the self with the Supreme Being, Jivatma Paramatma Samyoga Paramatma Atmanor Ekatva Jnanena, Tayo, that itself is the truth, that itself is Shikha, that itself is Upavitam, and Tayor Bheda Eva Vibhagnaha Sa Sandhya Sarvan Kaman Parityajya. So being deviated from that knowledge is itself is a fall, is Vibhagnaha. So he will avoid that, he will be established in the supreme Advaita state. Sarvan Kaman Parityajya, having given up all desires, Advaite Parame Sthitihi. He will be in non-duality in the supreme transcendental state. Jnana dando dhruto yena ekadandi uchyate. Such a person who has his jnana quite erect, like a danda, like a big stick, is called ekadanda. He is given one stick to indicate that he is established in his jnana. We have dandi, we call him. Ekadandi sauchyate, kashtadando dhruto ye. Na sarvashi jnana varjitaha, titiksha jnana vairagya samadi. Gunavarjitaha bhikshamatreena yo jivet sapape yati vrittiha. Okay, friends, here he is exposing a fraudulent avadhutas, fraudulent sannyasis, fraudulent parivrajakas who are holding the danda, but they are not having the jnana. They are doing bhikshatana without jnana, holding the danda. They are appearing to the world as a sannyasi, sadhu, but they have no jnana. Such fools, such fake, fraudulent, they are committing great sin. This is what he is saying here. They are sinners. Titiksha jnana vairagya samaguna samadhi guna varjitaha, who has no qualities of vairagya. Titiksha, samadhamad. As you all know, in Vedanta Darshana, we have sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, samadhamadi shatka sampatti, and ihamutra phalabhoga virakti, nityantya vastu vivekam, and mumukshutva. These four are the chatushtaya, sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, which is minimum requirement for receiving Brahmajnana, Vedanta Jnana from this Shruti, from Upanishad. And a person who doesn't have these qualities, but is imposting as, is an imposter, is posing as a sannyasi, having a danda in his hand, and going around bhikshatana. Such a person, we can see a lot of them. Yo jive sa papi, he is a sinner. Yati vrittiha, sayati narakan ghoran. He goes to horrible hells. Maha Raurava Sanyikan. There are many types of hells. Raurava Narakam, Punnava Narakam, various types of hells. He will go to those hells. Idam antaram jnatva, having understood this, sa Paramahamsa Akasha Ambaro, na Namaskaro, na Swahakaro, na Sulhakaro, na Nindastuti, Yadrichiko Bhavet, na Bhikshu, na Vahanam, na Visarjanam, na Mantram, na Dhyanam, na Upasanam, na Laksham, na Pradhanya, Pradhagaham, na Sattvam, Sarvam Chaniketa Sthiramatirevem Bhikshu, Savarnadinam Vaipargrihenna, Lokasamchalanam, Samnavalonam Jabhasko, Chavhatakaha Kati Jet Bhavkosyeva Smad Bhikshu, Hiranya Rasena Drishtam Chet Sad Brahma Bhavedyasmad Bhikshu, Anyam Sena Rasena Drishtam Chet Sobalka Sobheda Asmihit Shubhyanyam Anena Grahyam Chet Sa Atma Have Bhave Sa Bhikshu Hiranya Rasena Drishtam Naja Srishtam Naja Grahyam Nasarve Kaman Manogata Vyavartante Dukkhenacho Nudvignena Sukhe Nispruhyas Tyago Rage Sarvatra Shubhasudayo Nabhinno Nadveshti Namodatecha Sarvesham Indriyanam Gatiruparamo Ya Atmanyeva Avasthiyate Tat Purnanandaika Rasaha Rasa Bodhaha Purnanandaika Rasa Bodhaha Sad Brahmaiva Hamasmi Iti Kritakrityo Bhavati Kritakrityo Bhavati Kritakrityo Bhavati Ityupanishad. So that person who has reached Brahmaiva Hamasmi Aham Brahmasmi realization, a discovery, self-realization, a natural process of evolution of self-realization. Only such person will be Kritakricha, successful. All others are fake people. And what is the nature of such a person? What does he do? Sarvan kaman parityajya advaite parame sthitihi jnana dando dhuteyena ekadandi sa uchyate Ashtadando Advaite Paramesthiti. So he is in the Advaita, supreme state of Advaita. Jnanadando Dhute, Ekadandi Sauchite, Kashadando Dhute, and Sarvashi, Jnanavarjita, Tiksha, Jnanavaragya Samadhi Gunavarjita, Diksha Matrena Yojive, Sapapi, Ativritya, Sayati Narakan, Ghoran, Rauravasnikan, Idamantaram Jatva, Paramahamsa, Sakashambaro. Namaskar, he is Akashambara, that is Digambara. He is Advaita Sthiti Avadhuta, like Dattatreya, we have studied in the Avadhuta Gita, like Shuka Maharshi, we have studied in the Sukarahasya Upanishad. For him, nothing matters. Na namaskar, na swahakar, na swadhakar, na ninda, na stutihi, yadrichiko bhavet. Sa bhikshuho. Na avahanam, na visarjanam, na mantram, na dhyanam, na upasanam, na rakshyam, na rakshan. Na pradhak, na pradhak. Aham. He is independent, he is beyond all dualities. Na sattvam, na sarvam, chaniketa sthiramatihi, is sthitaprajna. Evam bhikshu, such a bhikshu, savarnidanam vai parigrihin, na loka sanchana lokam, na badhako, na cha badhakaha. He is unaffected by anything whatsoever. इति चेत् बाधकोऽस्येव यस्मात् भिक्षु हिरण्यगं रसेन दृष्टं चेत् स ब्रह्मः भवेद् यस्मात् भिक्षु हिरण्यं रसेन सृष्टं चेत् सोपल्कसो भवेद्यास्मिद्भिः हिरण्यगर्सेन आत्मः भवेत् तस्मात् भिक्षु हिरण्यगं रसेन दृष्टं न स्पृष्टं न ग्राह्यं न सर्वे कामान्. He gives up all desires. मनोगता व्यावर्तन्ते. In his mind, all the desires go back. Vishaya vinivartte niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjyam rasopyasya parandrishtva nivartate. Exactly same thing has been told in the Sthitaprajna Lakshana in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvatra shubha shubhayor nabhisneha is not. The same thing is told in the Bhagavad Gita. Nabhisneha na dveshti. That is why when Arjuna asked what are the qualities of Sthitaprajna, Lord Krishna told exactly that. Sthitaprajnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya kesava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita prajeta kim. Prajahat yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyevatmana tushtha sthitaprajnastadochyate. Dukheshu anudvignamana sukheshu vigataspраha vita raga bhaya krodha sthitadhi muniruchyate. So the same description is being given here for a Paramahamsa. Na abhisneho, na dveshti, na modate cha, sarvesham indriyanam gatihi, uparamo. He will calm down all senses and mind and enjoy in the self. Ya atmanyevavat sthiyate. He is established in self. That's what Sthitaprajna is. Atmanyeva atmana tushtaha. Sthitaprajnastadochyate. Dukheshu anudvignamana sukheshu vigataspruha vitaraga bhaya krodha sthitadhir muniruchyate. Yat purnanandaika bodha sabrahmaivaham. He will be in this established state of Brahmaivaham, 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 natu samsari. Brahmaivaham, 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 natu samsari. Dukheshu anudvignamana sukheshu vigataspruha vitaraga bhaya krodha sthitadhir muniruchyate. Yes, sarvatra nabhisnehas tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratisthita vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjyam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramadhini haranti prasubham manaha tani sarvani samyamya. So yasya indriyani tasya prajna pratisthita. So there is also a very interesting statement. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato muni. What is night for all others, worldly people, for the world, is day for him, and what is day for him is a night for the world. What does it mean? It doesn't mean as it appears on the surface that the Sthitaprajna or a Paramahamsa will be awake whole night and sleep whole day. That does not mean that. What it means is, what is clear like daylight is clear to see. What is common sense? What is normal? What is very usual for a common man, that is being worldly, running after money, running after women, running after desires, running after power, all these things which we see is not normal to the sannyasi, avadhuta, sthitaprajna, paramahamsa. He will be in, you look at all this as darkness. He has no interest. And what is dark, like night, to common people, like Brahmajnana, Atmajnana, Mithya Maya, all this is impossible to understand for a worldly person. Like it is darkness, it is like night. That is very clear and like white day for the yogi, sannyasi, Sthitaprajna, Avadhuta, Paramahamsa. So, या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जाग्रति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः आपूर्यमाणमचल प्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमाप प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामा यं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी विहाय कामान्यः सर्वान् पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः स शान्तिमति. Who will get peace? There is only one person who gets peace, who gives up all desires. Vihaya kamanya sarvan puman charati nispruha nirmamo, without attachment, without arrogance. Nirmamo nirahankaraha sa shanti madhigacchati. Esha Brahmi sthiti partha. And that is Brahmi sthiti. Evam prapya vimuhyati sthitva asyam antakalepi brahma nirvanam richati. Even if you reach the last, very last minute of your life, antakala, even then you will get Nirvana. Sabodha sabrahmeva hamasmi tatpurna ananda ekarasa bodha. The realization of the complete, total, infinite, pure bliss. Aham brahmasmi. That is the success. Kritakritcho bhavati. That Paramahamsa. Kritakritcho bhavati. Ityupanishad. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the Upanishad is very small, but it is very profound. It is explaining the Paramahamsa Sthiti, Sthitaprajna Sthiti, Avadhuta Sthiti, realized soul's state of existence. It is also distinguishing between a fake personality and a genuine personality, and it has explained all the characteristics of a Paramahamsa.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for a very concise but comprehensive introduction to the text. I think we have finished quite early from the time. Viewers, if you have any questions, please put it in the Q&A box and we will discuss some of them. As we wait for more questions, Prabhuji, we have received one or two questions. I'll just read it out. Is Manasika Sannyasa possible for an ordinary individual in this material world?
Yes, because the same material world was there for Lord Krishna also and Lord Rama also. And they lived in the same world. In fact, they held much higher, greater responsibilities. There are well-known personalities like Janaka, for example, who in the Ashtavakra Samhita, and Rama himself in Yoga Vasishtha, and Krishna in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, who were living in the same material world which we are living, and they were holding much higher responsibilities than you and I hold. Our responsibilities are very small compared to a king or an emperor, like Rama, for example, when he went through the dialogue, the conversation with his Guru Vasishtha in the Yoga Vasishtha, which is a very vast text and very advanced, most advanced text. He comes to the final conclusion that there's no point in being the king and running the country and all those things. So he goes to the forest as a tapasvi and a sannyasi. So he tells his guru, I will go to the forest, I will abandon, I will renunciate, I will renounce everything. Then the Guru Vasishtha tells him, I know that you are realized soul, because Rama is not an ordinary human being. Even though he looks like an ordinary human being, he is avatar of Lord Vishnu, Narayana. So that's why even at the time of education itself, he reached a stage of Avadhuta, Paramahamsa, that kind of status in his internal personality evolution. So Vasishtha tells him, you be in that state, but yet act as a prince and do all your duties. Because Vasishtha knows why the avatar came into existence in the first place. It is not meant for going into forest and merging in samadhi state and forgetting the society and world. It is meant for the uplifting of the world. As we all know, yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tada atmanam srijamya paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Ramavatara came for that purpose. So Vasishtha told him, you be in that state, but yet act as a prince, as a king, as an emperor, and do your duty for the society and follow your father's instructions or anybody's instructions. Do your dharma. That is why he had abandoned everything mentally. Sarva dharma manasa sannyasyaste sukhamashi. That is why, in fact, what is the proof of this statement? When tomorrow morning, his coronation was fixed up, and suddenly, the whole country was celebrating his coronation. Suddenly he was told, you go to forest. He didn't react. He didn't say, why should I go? I will not go. Lakshmana said all those things. Lakshmana wanted to wage a war against Dasharatha. But Rama said, no, it's all right. That's fine. He just went. He said it's very interesting to go to forest because he already wanted to go to forest and he wanted to be a tapasvi. He had no interest in becoming a king and do all these things, but he was doing out of his compulsion, his dharma, his injunction, his ordainment by his superiors. So, therefore, please understand, the answer to this question is a very important question you asked. And Gita told it is possible. Gita gave us the instruction to practice it. But here, Rama is an example of that. And Krishna himself, he tells very clearly, I have nothing as a responsibility to be done in the whole society, whole world, all the three words. Trishalokesha kinchana. I have nothing to be done, yet I am doing everything. Why? Because same reason, Loka Sangraharthaya. So friends, all of you, you may think you are as great as Rama, or you may think you are as great as Krishna, or you may not think. You may be somewhere in between or somewhere below that, but yet you have to discharge your duties towards your parents, towards your family members, wife, children. You have a responsibility towards the society. So you have to deliver those responsibilities, discharge those responsibilities, though mentally inside you may be an avadhuta or a paramahamsa. I wish you do that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I think we have only one more question. Can the state of Aham Brahmasmi be equated to the state of moksha?
Yes, very much. The answer is very short, but it is the process is very large. It is almost impossible. So basically, again, we will enter into the same question of self-enquiry. Who am I? So the word Aham Brahmasmi in the Sukarahasya Upanishad has been broken up into Aham Brahma Asmi and also Tattvamasi, Tat Twamasi. Tat is nothing but Brahman. Tvam is nothing but Aham. And Asi is the same in both Tattvamasi and Aham Brahmasmi. So if you are able to distinguish between the two, that means you are not one. The very fact that you are saying Aham is different, Brahman is different, and I am Brahman. It is like saying Jammu Kashmir is an integral part of India 20 times. Half of it is already taken over by somebody else. So it is simply saying that will not help. You have to actually feel it, actually realize that state. And actual realization will come through Brahmajnana, Atmajnana, which is achieved through a long drawn process of Jnana, Vairagya, and Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana in Vedanta Darshana, and Yoga Darshana through Samadhi, achieved through the Yoganga Anushtana. Both will converge. Yoga and Vedanta converge. And that is a natural state, as Avadhuta says in the Avadhuta Gita, Dattatreya. It's a natural state, Sahaja Sthiti. So if you keep on saying, there's a proverb in Telugu, Gummadikayal Dongante Bujal, that means you are having a doubt. If you keep on saying that something again and again, that means you have a doubt. It should be a natural state of awareness. And how it is going to be a natural state of awareness? When you have a natural state of enlightenment and realization reached through yoga and Vedanta, or both combination, or bhakti, all finally converge into a single point of convergence. And that is realization, the bodha, enlightenment. So when you realize, if you are in yourself, you just be in yourself. In fact, right now we can practice that meditation of being in yourself. Just be in yourself. You are getting so many thoughts. Just don't get distracted. Be in yourself. If you are being able to in yourself, Swarupa, tada drashtu Swarupe avasthanam. So what is that Swarupa? I am Atma. This self is Brahman. That is Brahman. Because there is only one. And that is Brahman. And you are also that. You cannot be different from it. If you think you are different from it, then you are in delusion. So the moment you realize there is only one, oneness, Advaita, and you are that, obviously there cannot be two when you say oneness. And that one is Brahman or Om, and you are that. So let us meditate. Om. 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 हिरण्यगर्भादि स्थावरान्तेषु शरीरेषु यदेकं चैतन्यमस्ति तदेव अहमस्मीति दृढप्रज्ञा भूयात्. That pure consciousness which is there right from Hiranyagarbha to an ant or to a grass blade in the entire universe, Hiranyagarbha is Thavaranteshu or to a stone, Sharireshu yadekam chaitanyamasti tadeva ahamasmi iti dridhajnana siddhir bhuyat. Let this knowledge be permanent, established. Sajatiya vijatiya swagata bheda rahita akhanda satchidananda brahmatman bhava siddhir bhuyat. Let there be the experience of Satchidananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, which is Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata, Bheda, Rahita, which is independent of any differentiations based on class or non-class, inside me or outside me, any such distinctions, devoid of any such distinctions. That which Parabrahman, I am that Nitya Shuddha Buddha, Mukta Satya Paramahansa Advaita Brahmatma Siddhir Bhuyat. Be established in that eternal, infinite, total, enlightened bliss, light. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Satya Parama, truth, Ananda Advitiya, one without a second. Ananda Advitiya Brahman, Atmarbhav Siddhir Bhuyat. Sadhastu. This is the Brahma Ashirvachana Paddhati. So this is the best way. In fact, in all prayers, I start with this. When I first chant all my prostration to all the gurus, Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsa Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya Sarvopaplavarahita Prajnana Ghanaha Pratyagardho Sohamasmi Brahmaivamasmi. So that statement, the assertion, I am Brahman, has to be continuously be made. Pratyagardha, it is not somewhere in a foreign country. It is yourself. It is immediately there. Pratyagardho sohamasmi brahmaivahamasmi. I am Brahman. So that awareness to be repeatedly be emphasized. Let me tell you, friends, the very fact that you deviate from that level of awareness is the cause of your bandha and is the cause of your rebirth, cause of your dukkha, cause of your bondage. Therefore, as my mother gave me her final instruction, be established in that aham brahmasmi state always. Esha brahmi sthiti pardha naivam pardha vimukhyati. Sistvasyam antakalepi. Even if you are established in the last part of your life, you will reach Brahma Nirvana. Is there one more question?
Yes, we have just one last question. How can we get rid of our attachment to comfort zone, that which is a big impediment on spiritual journey?
Yeah, that is through detachment, vairagya. The so-called comfort zones are only temporary place. Gradually, they will disappear. For example, a good job. I was in government for around 30 years. It is a comfort zone. Government of India is very powerful body, and you are part of it. You represent the government. So you are the government. So it's a very great comfort zone. And all the subordinates will be saluting. And all that is a very great comfort zone, but it is all temporary. The moment you are transferred or the moment you are retired, everything disappears. Maya lokam. Like even in a dream, there's a very comfortable dream, a comfort zone in a dream. It will be very comfortable until you wake up from the dream. So therefore, so-called comfort zones cannot be trusted. So just give up and be prepared for the worst. A smart man, a wise man will be prepared for the worst because this is a Maya Prapancham. It is a fraudulent universe. Everything is a fraud. Everything is being shown as something. Actually, it is something else in reality. So Maya, what is Maya? Maya itself is undefinable. There is a wonderful statement Shankaracharya gave defining Maya, which is written in golden letters in a hotel called Bhimas in the Tirupati town. Sannapya sannapya bhayatmikano. First definition of Maya is you cannot say it exists, Sat, nor you can say it does not exist. Satnapi, asadnapi. Nor you can say it exists and does not exist at the same time. Ubhayatmikano. Bhinnapya bhinnapya ubhayatmikano. You cannot say it is different from Brahman. You cannot say it is same as Brahman, or you cannot say both. Bhinnapya bhinnapya ubhayatmikano. You cannot say Maya is single, or you cannot say Maya has parts, or you cannot say both. Sangapya anangapya ubhayatmikano. Then what the hell can you say about Maya? Maha Adbhuta, it is most wonderful. Anirvachaniya, it cannot be defined. So this is the definition of Maya. So Maya has been defined by Adi Shankaracharya as an undefinable and unreal reality, using which he defeated the Sunyavada of the Buddhists, who said nothingness is reality. So undefinability is a higher order logical conclusion than nothingness, nihilism.
That's a wonderful perspective, Prabhuji. That is a really wonderful perspective. That undefinable and nothingness, there is a fine difference, and I agree with you that undefinability is a higher order than this. So I think with this we can conclude the session. Thank you again for a very wonderful presentation on a unique Upanishad. On the behalf of all our audience and all our team, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Viewers, do follow us on Facebook and X for updates about our upcoming events. We will conclude with a prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Hari Om. Thank you everyone.